The first PC on this list is the AVGPC Hellfire 2 that comes with the AMD Ryzen 5 5600G, the RTX 3050, a 500GB NVMe SSD, 16GB of DDR4 RAM, and has Windows 10. The CPU inside of this PC is liquid cooled, and the Cooler Master case that this comes in offers very good airflow for the style of case that it is. So overclocking the CPU inside of this computer should be fairly simple for those of you that do know how to overclock. The cons of owning this computer are that the power supply is only 650 watts. So if you ever plan on upgrading to the RTX 3080 or the RTX 3090, you would want to upgrade the power supply inside of this computer. You can certainly run a 3080 or a 3090 off of a 650 watt power supply, but you are not going to get the maximum power out of the GPU. For $999, this is a very hard gaming PC to beat. As always, the link to it alongside all of the other PCs on this list will be down in the description below. The second PC is a Skytech Chronos mini PC that comes with an Intel i5-10400F, a GTX 1660, a 1TB NVMe SSD, 16GB of DDR4 RAM, and has Windows 10. This is $1,149, so it is a little bit over the $1,000 mark. The cons of owning this computer is that the overclocking ability of the CPU is very limited. The i5-10400F has a boost clock speed of up to 4.3 GHz, but the ability to overclock it is very, very limited. I imagine that most of you buying a pre-built computer are not going to be overclocking anyways, but it is something to know. The CPU cooler that this comes with is decent. It's not a factory cooler that comes with the CPU, so it will keep the CPU cool even though it is not liquid cooled. The third PC sells out extremely fast, so Dell may not have it in stock when you're watching this, but it's the Dell G5 that comes with an i7-10700F, a GTX 1660 Ti, 16GB of DDR4 RAM, a 120GB NVMe SSD, plus a 1TB hard drive, and is running Windows 10. Cons of this computer is that the case is very minimalistic. It's nothing fancy to show off in a gaming setup, which some of you can say that doesn't mean anything, but my response to that is having a nice cool looking computer in your gaming room is always a plus, regardless if it has any impact on performance. Honestly, the only other complaint that I could see with this is that it sells out extremely fast, for a reason. The fourth PC is a CYBERPOWERPC that has an i5-11400F, the RTX 2060, 8GB of DDR4 RAM, a 500GB NVMe SSD, and is running Windows 11. The cons of this computer is its lack in memory. Only having 8GB of RAM in 2022 is pretty hard to recommend, but the other specs with this PC are great. Pre-built computers are pretty hard to get an all-in-one bang for your buck rig. There's usually a compromise, and why we're going over the cons of each of these. With that said, buying an extra 8GB of RAM for $30 and clipping it into the computer's motherboard is very, very, very simple to do. That is really the only downside to this. The computer is currently 5% off and costs $964. Before the honorable mention, the last and final computer is a Skytech Blaze 3.0 that comes with an i5-10400F, the GTX 1650 Super, a 500GB SSD, 16GB of DDR4 RAM, has a really cool case, and the operating system is Windows 10 Home. The cons of this are, again, the CPU. The 10400F is not a good CPU to overclock whatsoever. The first computer that we went over on this list is hands down the best one out of all of these, but like I said at the very beginning, I have never seen this on Amazon ever before, and I look at Amazon on a daily basis, so I'm not 100% sure how long that seller is going to be building computers and selling them to people. But anyways, now for the honorable mention. which is the Alienware laptop that we reviewed the other day. If you want to go and check that video out, then feel free to do so. And again, the links to each of these computers will be down in the description below. But yeah, that's going to bring us to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to leave a like if you did, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.